while since I've gotten to practice anything, so figure I'll go ahead and try a little bit. First off, I'm going to show you both you and myself that there are no rounds in this cylinder. Just in case any of y'all might want to know why I can spin a cylinder backwards, just called Free Spin Paul mod. I've done several different mods on this, but needless to say, this is also not my gun spinning holster. This is an exotic fast draw that I make for like open class competitions and things like that. It's made to come out real fast. Again, slow down a little bit, but it's also got a real narrow opening, so it's taking some used to. Today, basically, I'm just going to see kind of what I can do, see if I can tie some things together. Hopefully not drop the gun. And I don't know. It's practice like this with things that you don't normally practice that make you better at whatever you do. So I always like starting off with a few things that I know. One of them like is a 180 spin out of the holster. 180 spin out of the holster. And you can do this in such a way that when you're spinning it out, you can cock it. And in all the things that you see, whenever you hear me cocking it, I'm not dry firing it. Even though this particular firearm has a transfer bar safety and stuff, yeah, I guess I'm just a little old school. So what you're hearing is the hammer being pulled back, and almost exclusively I let my finger on the trigger and I ease the hammer back. But I know some people, they get a little upset about the whole dry firing thing. But honestly, I found that when you have a in-frame firing pin and a transfer bar safety, you don't really have to worry about too awful much. But it's just a few that I can do that I've been working on. Just regular hand transfer, stuff like that. Going behind the back. And now when I do this, I can either go around the back like this, and I have a lot easier time catching the hammer with my thumb right here. I've still got my finger through the trigger guard, and as I come up, I'm just doing like that. If I do it on my other side, however, with my left hand, it's easier for me to transfer the gun, go up, and go ahead and fan it. Never, ever, 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 ever use live ammunition when you do this. Come on, man. You got a brain in your head. I promise. If not, the normal functions of, eating, sleeping, and, I don't know, breathing, should be able to tell you. But still, for those that don't know, I also do trick shooting, and I do fast draw practice. And what we do with those, we use a very lightweight 15 grain, high temperature wax bullet. What that does, it's only propelled by a 209 12 gauge shotgun primer in a modified case, which means that's the only propellant. But let me tell you, I've shot myself through the holster in the leg a couple times, and it's not even enough to really put you down. You got hit, but it's not bad. Real live rounds, if that would have happened, would have blown my leg off. If I got lucky and he didn't blow it off, it very seriously could have severed my femoral artery or all kinds of other bad stuff. Don't do it. Don't risk it. It's not worth it. Up till several months ago, due to the whole COVID thing, one of the things that I would do is when I would trick shoot, I'd go ahead and set up balloon course and do that. Now I cannot get the blanks that I used to. So I've been having to use my wax fast draw rounds, which is good and bad both. It gives you a little further range. It will pop a balloon, but it doesn't give you the advantage of when those pressurized gases and powder fouling and stuff are coming out of the end of your weapon. They do a little shotgun effect. So let's say my point of aim and my point of impact is right there. I can draw a circle around that sucker and it will still pop, even if my point of aim and impact's over here. So with the wax rounds, it does a lot more for your accuracy when you're on the go. Perfect example. So I got 6 in here. And I only carry 6 in here, of course, because of the transfer bar, and I do believe in them. I believe in them 100%. I'm a gunsmith, and I have an intimate working knowledge of how this specific mechanism works. You may not feel comfortable with that. That's okay. Not a problem. No judgments. You're good. But I'll usually start with a draw. And as I come up, I'll take her out of here. Do it to the side real quick. Draw. Fire. There's one right there. As I'm holding here, I'm going to move my hand around to the side. That's 2. One more to come up. And this one, if I've got a longer distance target, I'll grab on my other end. Show you real simply. And as I'm doing this, I can do it multiple ways. Either one, let loose the trigger, or 2, keep a hold of it with my thumb. When I do that, I will actually take the thumb on my left hand and ride that back strap. These don't kick. They're not like live ammunition. So I've got it right here. Boom. Or boom. Straight back. Sometimes though, you'll find that you don't quite have enough momentum to make it. So let's say you're almost there. But guess what? It doesn't lock away. Now you're in between cylinders and it didn't fire, which means now you have a round in there that you have to go back 5 times in order to reach it. When you're doing stuff for speed, you don't have the time. Anyways, several fun things that you can take and do. I like to do certain tosses, but if you'll notice, I already know where that gun's going to go. One is just doing it a whole lot. The other thing is, through this, you will develop eye-hand coordination and muscle memory, just like anything else that you will do that will take lots of practice. And there's certain movements that you will do repeatedly, over and over and over again. Would I always recommend starting out? All the stuff you just seen me do, trust me, don't do it yet. The reason why I can do this is because I put in the time, I put in the work. But there's several different ways, and I've covered some of them in another video, where you can help mitigate the damage to your firearm, TV, anything else, you know, worth value to you. Don't be stupid is the number one thing. This can hurt you. It can. You're taking, in this case, a real gun, which is 45 long Colt. It's a Ruger Nuvigero Bisley, 5.5-inch barrel. This thing, if you ever did run out of ammunition, makes a real good club. It makes me cringe, but it can be used as a hammer. It's got heft behind it. So, what do you think when that thing that you can be used by a hammer accidentally goes towards your face. Well, I've got the reflexes to move. I can feel when stuff going on, and I completely did that on purpose, so I had a pretty big heads up. Okay? This coming down on your cheekbone, in your temple, jawbone, front of your mouth, it can do a lot of damage. Start small. You're not in a rush. Everything will come. So, first thing I teach, and this is just to get a weight of your firearm. Every one of them's different. They all feel different. Well, half spin. I ain't really spin. I'm just letting it go. But with this one, when I let it go, I can generally get that part of my fingers back underneath it. So, again, again, again. This is a complete one. Or, see that? At first, don't worry about that. Just worry about one complete revolution. Say, well, one complete revolution, what does that give you? Number one, it gives you the ability to stop it, and stop it fast. If you can stop it fast at one revolution, you can stop it fast as many as you need. Turning this way. As soon as I want to. I can even stop it here. I can stop it here. Or I can even flip it and move it from hand to hand. I hope this has been a little educational for you, and I am free with all the information that you might need to actually pursue this if you want. It's not for everybody, but there's lots of things you can that will really help you throughout your life in ways that you might not even thought about. You've got to have discipline. If you need eye-hand coordination, trust me, this is about one of the best ways to get it. This isn't about looking cool. This isn't about showing off. This is about being able to learn a skill that, let's be honest, most people around you don't know. And here's the coolest part. You don't have to tell anyone that you do it. This can be your Zen zone. This can be what you use in order to take the stresses of the day or even think through a problem, which is originally how I started doing. Thank you very much for your time, and as always, y'all be safe out there, and be nice to each other. Y'all have a great day.